Okay guys, I'm here. We're going to try to redo my boat tour video. I had it uploaded for a little while and realized I didn't like it because the lighting was pretty terrible. There's some stuff I left out, so thought I'd redo it. Hopefully you guys like it this time and you can see it a little better. Now I got a little bit of wind, so hopefully you guys can actually hear me. So come along, we'll take a look at the boat. Okay, so here we are. We're at the bow of the boat right now. This boat is a 2007 Triton TR21X, and then it's got a 250 horsepower Mercury Pro XS on it. Boat ride's really good. I've had this boat since 2011. I love this boat. It's the biggest boat that I've had. My other couple of boats, one was a fiberglass, one was aluminum, but they were all 18-foot or smaller, which were great. They worked really well, but you know, when I wanted to go and fish a bigger lake, I was definitely limited on how far I wanted to run. I was limited on if it's going to be windy. Then I have to kind of decide if I want to even go fishing today or if there's even an area on the lake I can go. So I love this boat. Love this boat. So starting up front, the trolling motor is a Motor Guide Tour Edition 109. It's a foot control trolling motor with cable steer. I know you see a lot of electric steers today, especially in the walleye world, but now with the invention of the Ultrax, you see a lot of those out now. I'd love to have one. Maybe one day we'll get one. And then my bow graph is a Lowrance Gen 2 HDS7 touch unit. See, you guys have seen it in videos and stuff. It looks just like that. And I have it mounted on a Deckit mount. I used to have, and this is actually built for a bigger graph, but I didn't have a smaller one, so this is what I got, and I just rigged it myself. I used to have this mounted on a ram mount up here, which was great, but it was off to the side, and I personally like it better in the center because when it's centrally located, it's out of my way. There's nothing I ever need in front of the trolling motor pedal, so it's just completely out of the way, and I don't have to, if I'm fishing off the left side of the boat, I don't have to look far to the right side to look at the graph. It's just little things that makes it nice, but it's solid. It's not going anywhere, whereas the ram mount would actually move sometimes. Then as we get to the console, this is another Lowrance Gen 2 unit, but this is an HDS9. I know you see a lot of guys have dual units up here at the console. I'd love to do that, and if I come across the money, I would certainly do that. But for now, this is what I've got, and it works really fine. I've got side scan and down scan on it, so it does everything that the guys with the two units do, but I just don't have all of that. I've got all the same data, you're just not seeing it in as clear of a picture because I don't have two big screens up here. And then, as you see in here, this is a SmartCraft gauge, Mercury SmartCraft gauge that connects to the motor. And if you have a Mercury outboard that's capable of this, and I know all the Optimax engines are, and I believe all the 4-strokes are, I don't know if the older 2-strokes are, I highly recommend getting a SmartCraft gauge in your boat. It tells you a lot of very important information. It tells you your RPMs, your water pressure, it tells me how much fuel I've used, how many gallons per hour I'm using. If you have it set up correctly, it'll tell you your trim level. But, oh, it also tells you how many hours are on the motor, too. I've only got 63 hours on this motor. But the reason that I say that it's really nice is I know a lot of you guys are like, well, I have a TAC. It tells me my RPMs. Well, the TAC in this boat came from the factory rigged. It hasn't been messed with at all. And the SmartCraft gauge it's like GPS. It is fact. There's no way around it. This is exactly what it's coming because it's the direct readout from the motor, a digital readout. My SmartCraft gauge reads about 300 to 400 RPMs less than my actual in the dash from the factory TAC does. And that's a big deal when you're trying to maximize the performance of your outboard. If you're raising or lowering your jack plate, all those kind of things, that's really, really important. Those are things that you really, really need to know. So as we move on back to the back, you can see there's dual power poles on there. These are actually older models. Yeah, it's a Pro Series, and then this one was actually on the boat when I bought it. This is a XL Series. They're both 8-foot models. I love having power poles. I don't ever want to get rid of them. I'll keep them for... I'll have power poles on every boat that I ever get. Their customer service is next to none. They're just great. And then, like I said, the motor is a 250 Pro XS. It's got the Torque Master gear case on it. And then, I don't know how well you can see that. That is a 6-inch jack plate. And then I actually have 2-inch spacers put in here too to help me get more performance out of it. And as we move into the boat, starting up front. We're going the rod box on the left side. You see, I got all my rods and rod socks in there. That allows me to put more rods in there. I also took out the rod racks too. I could probably put 30 rods in here if I wanted to, whereas when I had the rod racks, I could probably maybe fit, I don't know, 15 or so. Oh, I forgot up front. On the trolling motor, that's the TH Marine, I think it's a Gerald Swindle signature one. The pull cord, rip cord, I'm not really sure what they call that. Whatever. It's a steel cord, and it works really well. Love that thing. And then I also got the cool foot on the trolling motor, and that, as dumb as it sounds, that helps my foot not slip off the trolling motor that much. The front middle compartment is mostly just what I keep fishing line. This is actually what I keep all my line in. And then I end up throwing garbage and crap in here too. I got marker buoys in there. And then this is actually where I keep gloves. Like today, it's cold. So I keep gloves in that. And then my actual, oh, that's the wrong way. My actual bait compartment. Get around here. My actual bait compartment. I've got 3700 series boxes here. I label them all. You see, like this one says jerk baits and square bills, crank baits. I do those by sizes and depths. This is actually swim baits. I just haven't labeled this one yet. But you see how I have them all sitting in here. I try to put my lighter stuff up front and then my heavier stuff in the back, so like weights and stuff go in the back. And that helps me, it helps the boat get more speed, it helps it get out of the hole better, all those good things. I've also got these, I think this is the Easy View tackle system. Whenever I'm going to fish a tournament or something, I like to take the baits that I think I'll use a lot and stick them up here so I can get to them really quick and have easy access to all my baits. But really, because I haven't fished tournaments in so long and it's just been fish here and there, there's just all sorts of stuff hanging up there. Then we get over to the right side. This is mostly where I do dry storage stuff. I've got my rain gear in here. I've got hunting gloves from when I was fishing on Lake of Ozarks and running across the lake. I keep throw cushions, the essentials. I got a first aid kit in here, and then I've got those same clips up here, but I actually just hang my sunglasses from those now. I've got this center console. This is aftermarket. I forget where I even got this from. BassBoatSeats.com maybe. I haven't completely installed it yet, but you see it's got this. Got a little bit of dry storage because since this is a single console, I don't have a glove box or anything. It's got some cup holders in it. This has been real nice. Gives you a little bit of a step up. I really like it. Let me move over to this side. This is the rest of my tackle. Like I said, heavy stuff is here, so I've got jigs, big crankbaits, because I'm not going to use those very often, weights, swim bait heads, chatterbait, swim jigs, big swim baits. I think I said that twice. Things like that. Just real heavy stuff you really want to put in the back. It'll definitely help your boat's performance for sure. for the trolling motors, the Livewells, I've got these VT2 Livewell vents. They help take out a lot of the bad chemicals out of the air. It helps regulate the temperature in the Livewells, all those kind of things. And I've actually heard reports of guys, I'm pretty sure it was the FLW tour, that they unknowingly their Livewell pumps died on them throughout the day, and because of those vents, they still had a healthy catch when they brought them in at the end of the day, which is a huge deal. You know, a dead fish penalty is most of the time at least a half-pound penalty, so that's a big deal. It's a big deal. Okay, so the Livewells, that's what the Livewells look like. Pretty plain Jane, nothing really different to them, except that if you can see that little white box down there, those are LED lights. Those are blue water LEDs. I've actually got LEDs rigged up on the front deck as well, but I rigged those in both of the Livewells to help me see down in the dark. And then this other one is more dry storage. This is where I keep my life jackets. I keep some save faces. I also keep tools. So a lot of my heavier stuff I keep in here. I always keep tools to work on the boat. I keep tools to work on the jet, or if I ever needed to move my jack plate for whatever reason, because it's a manual, it's not a hydraulic. I keep all that stuff here. Honestly, I probably keep more than I ever need, but it's like a gun. You don't need it till you need it. Okay, now we'll move to the back one, which is very self-explanatory, but you call it your engine compartment, your battery compartment, what have you. Move that stuff around. Yeah, battery compartment. You got power pole pumps, 4 batteries. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's my 4-bank charger, and whenever I keep my oil, keep the funnel back here to try not to make a mess whenever I do that, but I'm definitely gonna make a mess because I can never not do that. And that is pretty much it. That's my boat. There's probably something I'm leaving out that I'll remember after I hit stop, and I'll be like, well, I guess I got to do this whole thing over again, but I'm not going to. Oh, see, told you I'd miss something. Tool holder. This little tool holder that I found on Bass Boat Central. It's just aftermarket. It sticks there with tape. Boat definitely didn't come like this. It just sticks there with double-sided tape. You see, it's got little small holes so you can stick hooks down in it. It's got a couple bigger holes so you can stick your pliers and or those scissors, those kind of things. Yeah, big deal. And I haven't launched anything out of the boat out of it yet, so it works really good. When I put it in, I thought for sure that I'm going to be flying across the lake and I'm going to hit a wave and launch my pliers in the water. But it hasn't happened yet. And this is like 5 years I've had it, so I think we're good. But that's pretty much it for the boat, guys. Drop something down in the comments if you'd like to see something else. I ought to have this video, and at this point I ought to have the fishing video. By the time you guys see this, I ought to have my last fishing video up. So see you guys out on the water.